This episode brought to you by Friday Night Fights, a modern Arthurian podcast of epic proportions. My name is Michael. I've been absolutely fascinated by tabletop role-playing games for the better part of my life, and this is my life partner, Chuck. Say hi, Chuck. I think he likes you. Welcome to Roll With Me. The second Monster of the Week book,
The Tome of Mysteries,
is chock full of buck-wild additions to the game we love so much. From new weird moves to insane monster builds,
The Tome of Mysteries
brings a lot to the gaming table that can take our campaigns to whole new levels of zaniness. Some of the stuff in this book is pretty out there, and some of the new playbooks offered are somewhat unexpected, none more so than the Pararomantic.
I trust you. Don't.
You sense too much to be understood by normal people, and enough to be loved by something else. So the Pararomantic is one of the more interesting playbooks I've encountered, and don't get me wrong, in no way am I about to yuck anyone's yum over here. It's just surprising. I mean, if you watch 5 minutes of Weird Web on Twitch, you'll hear me and Ashton talk about which cryptids we would probably. Know what I mean? The Pararomantic is a hunter with a loving but difficult relationship with a supernatural being. We'll refer to this being as a guide. The Pararomantic understands monsters' motivations and they can earn their trust, but in doing so, put themselves at great risk. Let's get into it. First of all, make no mistake, this is a charm-based playbook. Just about everything you're gonna do effectively is going to involve convincing someone else to do something. Be that your guide, a bystander, or the very monster you're hunting. Really, the moves provided in this playbook are pretty much entirely based on social interaction. You can manipulate monsters, get your guide to protect you or someone else in your party, even investigate the big bad's motives through the power of empathy. I mean, that's awesome. In addition to some basic gear, you get a totem or memento of your guide, charged with some of their energy. This is how you tap into your moves. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the new mechanic that makes this playbook entirely unique and changes the scope of gameplay for the hunter who chooses to play it. The Pararomantic playbook brings with it the relationship status track. Represented just like your luck and harm tracks, your relationship status defines your bond with your guide and how effective their help can be. Whenever you act against the interest of your guide or abuse their favor, you have to make a roll. If that roll doesn't go well, tick off a box in your status track. Whenever you spend luck, tick off another one. Once the track is all filled up, it becomes clear that you just weren't meant to be, and then you lose them, and all of the power they gave you. Too real. And that's what makes the Pararomantic such an interesting playbook to me. Just like a real relationship with a real person in the real world, it takes a dedicated and careful balancing act of give and take, or else it just descends into a one-sided, toxic, codependent relationship doomed to burn in the eternal hellfires of misery and agony and suffering and depression and loneliness. Chuck, I think we need to talk. And it is worth mentioning that this playbook is so far off from any 5e concepts that I'm not even gonna say it. Nope. Monster of the Week is not D&D. Now, keepers, this next part is extremely important. If another player in the party is not playing the monstrous who acts as the guide to the Pararomantic, they can work that out on their own. It falls to us to control the guide. Now, in-game relationships can be a sensitive subject for some players, or they can lead to sensitive discussions. It is absolutely crucial that you and your hunters have a thorough discussion about the details of this relationship. Use your wits, have some tact, and tastefully represent your hunter's guide in accordance with everyone's comfort level. I mean, I'm all for immersion, but come on. I hope y'all found this one helpful. Make sure to like this video, comment with any questions you may have, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your views and all of your support. Now listen up, because there's a super dope podcast I've been listening to that I think you're really gonna dig. When average teenager Arthur Padrone finds out he's the reincarnation of King Arthur of Camelot, he, Merlin, and Lancelot go on a road trip to find the other Knights of the Round Table before danger catches up to them in this comedy fiction podcast. Listen to Friday Night Fights wherever you get your podcasts. Also, if you're in need of some fun, nerdy swag to make your friends around the gaming table jealous, head to wingatethebrand.com and check out a bunch of stuff I designed, like this line of tarot-inspired tees for the playbooks of Monster of the Week, or this gnarly Eldritch Nightmare hoodie, or this vintage Squatch Hunt tee. Every purchase goes directly to making more and better content for my amazing viewers. And if you feel so inclined, head to my Patreon at patreon.com/michaelwingate and follow me on my zany musical adventures with some really cool people in some really cool spots.